today, a lot of farmers are forming associations, and we are here today to inform you on how to be part of these big opportunities. And if you care to know the way our economy is going now, it is the farm that will create another set of millionaires. Because we want to encourage you at this workshop that everything you produce, make sure you add value to it. Nigeria should not produce and export. We should produce, process, and manufacture that we can make money from it. We discussed about cassava, for instance. It is not enough for you to sell your cassava tubers, but process it into different forms of which people will share with you today. Either process it into gari, millet, or cassava flour, which you're going to train on how to be part of it. So I have a farmer in our midst, there are farmers in our midst. They're going to share with you how to be part of these opportunities. And we will not stop at this workshop. After today, we'll be working together because we have farmlands. Those people who are giving those farmlands, they don't know the opportunities. The bushes are just there. Nobody is doing something about it. So we have the list of those farms, which I'm going to give you today. And those farms are within Oyo and Ogun State. So you can supervise effectively. And you can even get a room in that area. Maybe a room in that area is about 1,000 naira or less than that. So you can go and supervise your farm once in a while. Just go look at what is going on there and come back to Lagos. For those of us that have farmland already, I mean farm already, you don't need this side, but for those that want farmland, we have a lot of vacant farmland for that we can use along this axis. So we are going to train you on the proper super. I have a lot to share with you after the seminar on other information we have for you, and we have time also for people that want to ask one or two questions. So I want to introduce the main speaker for today. Is a farmer, is a consultant. If you care to know, he has a magazine for this, they call it agriculture, but that was what made me know this young gentleman. You will be amazed sector of the economy. So I want to invite our main speaker for today, Mr. Ayolo Febe. Can you give me a problem, please?
Good morning, sirs. Good morning. Yeah, good morning, Ma. Yeah, I understand we have only one lady in the house. So my name is Ayolo Femi, just as I rightly introduced, and I'm the publisher of Agriculture Today. I don't know if anybody has seen any of these before. Have you seen any of these before?
No.
Okay. Have you seen any of these before?
Latest. You have the latest?
I did come in. This is
August.
August, yes.
The best.
I have one more copy here. Maybe just hold that while we go on with the program. Because of the lecture, we can go back to what we agriculture. Yeah, my name is Ayolo Femi. I'm an agriculturist. I'm a consultant. I also run the Institute of Professional Agriculturists of Nigeria, IPAN. It is actually the largest assembly of professional agriculturists in Nigeria. And currently we are at the National Assembly trying to charter the institute. So before long, in about 1 or 2 years from now, you'll be hearing chartered agriculturists. Yeah, just as we have chartered accountants, chartered manager, we have chartered farmers, chartered agriculturists. Yes, that is what we are doing in trying to turn around our profession into a noble one. You know, gone are those days in which if you don't have anything to do, they will say go to the farm. Now we are getting to an era in which if you want to do anything at all, then you have to go back to the farm. That is the initiative. So I run the institute, I publish agriculture today. I'm also a consultant, I'm also a farmer. Currently, we manage about 250 hectares of plantation in Shepherd Terry. Sir?
You don't look like a farmer at all.
Yes, I don't look like a farmer. Somebody once said it, that you are one of the few farmers that are wearing suits. Yeah, and I say yes, that is the era we are getting into.
Wow.
In India, you don't see farms that are just lying fallow, and you don't see farmers wearing tatters. You see them managing organized farms like a normal establishment. You get to their farms, you get to the reception. Before you can see the chief operation officer, you get to his office, you book appointments, you do so many things. It is well organized from the production to the harvesting, even to the market. It is a well organized industry. One of the problems we have in Africa is that we really don't take agriculture as a serious business. That is actually the major problem we have in Africa. Not because we don't have farmlands, not because we don't have capacity, but because we don't take it as a serious business. Somebody will say, I want to go into agriculture. I'm actually a civil servant, I have a day job, but I want to get into agriculture. Let me just do it as a pastime. Let me just do that as a part-time thing. It doesn't work like that. If you're going to go into agriculture, you must be ready to go into it as a serious business. In fact, you must be ready to avoid, I believe whatever you are doing and really go into it, it's actually worth the time, it's worth the effort, it's worth the investment. So basically, that is what agriculture is. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't look like a farmer. Yes. So before we go on, I actually want to get to know us, get to know our background, then get to know our learning objective. Why are we here? And at the end of today's lecture, what do we want to take home? So I want to be sure we are on the same page, and I want to be sure I can gauge the flow of knowledge from here to there. So I'm going to start from...
Sanusi.
Okay, Mr. Sanusi.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
I came from the lab.
Okay, what are you into, sir?
I'm a civil servant.
Okay, civil servant. And it is instructive to know that agriculture is the only business that you can combine with civil service. Yes, according to the Civil Service Commission. So you can actually do agriculture and you won't have to hide it in your office. Everybody can know that you are a farmer. Yeah. Yes, sir.
My name is Aito.
Mr. Aito, okay.
Yes, I came from Gwagwalada. I'm based in Gwagwalada.
Gwagwalada, okay, that's in
Yes,
Asia.
I'm very interested in this seminar today.
Okay, so
being here today of Cassava.
okay, so
I wanted to do that in the next 2 years.
yeah.
I will be announced as the greatest cassava farmer in Nigeria.
Oh,
Yes.
So, sir, what you want to take home from here is actually an all-round knowledge of how to be a successful cassava industrialist. Yeah, not even farmer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I'm with you, sir. Okay. Yes, sir.
My name is Rumi Dakinola.
Okay.
I'm a real estate developer,
Okay.
farmer.
Coon farmer. Okay.
And I'm here just to broaden my
Knowledge.
knowledge. I'm particularly interested in cassava,
Okay.
not just the farming. I'm happy you mentioned the production,
Yeah.
processing. So I just felt like to learn more things.
I hear what I want you to do. You said you are a real estate developer, coon farmer. I want you to be the other way around. I'm a farmer, coon real estate developer.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
My name is Jim Roman.
Okay, sir.
I'm in publishing,
Okay, sir.
and I want to get into farming.
Okay, sir. What do you publish? Can I ask?
I publish newspapers.
Newspapers. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I think you come across agriculture today.
Yes.
So you come across agriculture today. Okay, you feel agriculture today.
Yes.
Okay. You are. Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm Charles.
Please let us be emphasis on the learning objective. What you want to take home from here. You understand? I want to be sure I can coordinate our interests and get a common platform. Yes, sir.
I'm Charles Omezi. I'm a medical doctor in Kano.
Okay.
I already started a plantain plantation, so
Okay, beautiful.
I want to learn more about processing and marketing.
Processing of plantain or cassava.
I can pick some things from what you say in
Okay.
Cassava,
Okay.
so I can apply it.
Just apply it directly to plantain. Okay, you do plantain flour, you do a lot of things with plantain. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I am Julie in Kanga.
Okay.
I work with Mobile,
Okay.
and I've worked with Mobile for 16 years.
Wow.
But the truth of the matter is that as a salary earner, you cannot get rich. You cannot be rich.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm working towards retirement, and I want something that I can really fall back onto
Okay.
for a living.
For a living.
So,
Outside
and farming, it's like the next best thing, because any other thing you go to, the chances are that it might just go down the drain if you
Yeah.
don't. Yeah. So I want to start something, get it established before I retire and really get into it full time.
Very good. The next best thing. I want it to be like the best thing, not the next best thing. Yes, sir.
My name is Gafari Fasasi,
Okay, sir.
a factory worker. I want to get more knowledge about cassava processing.
Okay, processing. Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm Mr. Ogundele Oladeko.
Okay.
I am a businessman, and I want to see the business opportunities that lies in cassava.
Business opportunities. Yeah, I love that word. Yes, sir. Okay.
My name is Edward Yamo. I'm an oil and gas consultant,
Okay, sir.
and I've learned farming from school. I used to plant in my house in the school cassava, yam, groundnut, corn, and so on.
Okay.
So if somebody is talking Greek, it's not new to me. So let's hear what it is.
Wow, beautiful. Yes. Yes, sir.
My name is Young Edgar.
Okay.
I'm into printing.
Okay.
But I'll be hearing about this cassava stuff.
Okay.
So I just want to at least have a knowledge of it.
Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, I get our interest now. But have you ever bothered to ask yourself why cassava? Of all the crops that we have, has anybody ever sat down to say, why cassava? What's the noise about cassava? Why is everybody crying cassava? It's not a new thing. Cassava is not a new crop. In fact, it's one of the oldest crops that we've been planting, that has been planted on this planet. So why the sudden interest in cassava? Why is everybody now picking cassava?
Well, because you can make a lot of things from cassava.
Because you can make a lot of things from cassava, yes sir?
Secondly, it's one of the 6 major crops the federal government really wants to encourage the production.
Yeah, one of the 6 major crops.
Our bread very soon is going to become 40% cassava.
Yes. Even after ITA, I was experimented with them on the 60% cassava bread. And honestly, it did very well. The same thing with UTC, is now make their cassava bread that was 50% cassava flour. I tasted it, I was invited to come and taste it, and it's really, really making sense. So we are getting to an era in which cassava flour will be a major component.
Your cassava bread is not new. When I was young, at 6 years, I was eating, my mother was making cassava biscuit.
Yes, sir. The most important thing in this thing is, sir, yeah, the most important thing is the enterprise.
Yeah.
You understand? Everything might have been there for like forever, but the enterprise must be developed. It must make sense. The business aspect of this thing must really make sense. Everybody is doing cassava, yes. You can think of in the rural, the interlands, because they don't have access to information, they could not really turn this thing into enterprise, and that is what is the most important thing. Do you understand? I got into cassava awareness in 2005 when we had a presidential initiative on cassava, and the government was trying to create alternative value for cassava. There's an initiative, a committee, which I was part of as a media person. I was writing for Nigerian Tribune then as the agriculture correspondent, and I got to know that yes, President Obasanjo was really, really serious about adding value to cassava, creating alternative needs. Initially, I felt because he was a farmer and he has plantation that because they are market for. So he was thinking, okay, what can I do, what can I do, what can I do? But I later discovered that he really had genuine interest about cassava. Then sometime about 2-3 years ago, I got a call from an executive director of a glucose manufacturing plant in Nigeria, the largest in West Africa. It's on the Lagos-Ibadan Express Road. And he said, Guy, come. Is that Ayo Olorunfemi? I said, yes. Okay, I'm the executive director of this company, and we produce industrial glucose, and we need 400 tons of cassava tubers every day to feed our plant. We've been to IIT. IIT is coordinating this for us, but we've not even been able to get up to 100 tons of cassava tubers on daily basis. For those of us that knows what 400 tons means on daily basis, it's a lot of it's really a lot. And they have installed a capacity of 400 tons. If they cannot get cassava tubers to feed that machinery, that business will crumble and it will stop working. And a lot of millions of dollars will have gone down the drain. And they said, what can you do for us? I was like, wow. There are so many people in Ogumosho, in Shaki, Aguari, Aguamadu, Shakwetere, where I found that half cassava that are lying fallow, 3 years cassava in the soil, no market. The best that they can do on a normal market day is to sell 2-3 pom-pom, the normal jalokiri business. Yeah, that is the best they could sell on a normal, a wonderful market day. Oh wow, this is a wonderful market day. I've done well today. They do like 3-4 pickups. And there are people that need trailers of cassava every day, and they are even having problem in getting these crops. And I started a campaign then on cassava tubers. I was going around. I would go to Iwofi in Ogumosho. I met the entire community. I wasn't dressed like this then. I was dressed like a farmer. I talked correct Yoruba. And I was able to get their interest. These people were like, we have 3-4 years cassava that are in the soil. We've not been able to get them harvested. From there, we took trailers from Lagos here, took them to the farmlands. We harvested up to about 3 trailers, brought them to Lagos, went back again, and all that. Even with that, it was still a problem meeting these demands. That is for the industrial glucose market. Next come cassava flour. Last week in my office, I received people that had LPU to supply cassava flours of more than 100 tons. The problem is, where are we going to get cassava flour? Nigeria distilleries out of that. Just give us an LPU to supply 120 tons of cassava flour. Where are we going to get it? Nigeria flour mill just give us an LPU to supply 80 tons of cassava flour. Where are we going to get it? That is one. Cassava flour. Bottom line is, Gari is there. One of the most stable food in West Africa. Cassava is actually the basic raw material. And I tell you, only very few people are doing Gari on commercial scale. I want to tell us in this class that if any one of us is thinking of agricultural enterprise, please think commercial. That is what makes sense. Think commercial. Nobody should culture at the subsistence level and the backyard level because let me just do my hands in one of those things. No. If you will see it as a normal business, then think commercial. Think commercial. We manage a 250 irrigation. In 2007, we hosted the Senate Committee on Irrigation. They were going around Nigeria looking at commercial irrigation projects. Our farm was selected. And I tell you, per harvest from the farm is really something that is commendable. So anybody must start thinking commercial in this side. I'm still asking the question, why cassava? Why cassava? Yes, sir.
Another thing that I think people is because cassava has is durable. It doesn't just get down during droughts.
Yes.
When there is a famine.
Yes.
Yes, I think it has a very stamina.
Sir, it's not about the stamina. It's about the enterprise. Do you understand? It's about the business aspect. That's what I'm interested in. I'm a modern day farmer. I'm not a old-time farmer. Yeah. If I'm going to do any plantation, I want to look at the feasibility studies. I want to look at the figure. Is it making sense or not? I don't want to be like the old man in the bush doing farming. No, that is not what I am. That is what I want to do. Yes. Every business I go into in agriculture, I come up with a feasibility study. I do a comprehensive business plan. 3-5 years. I want to know the figures. Is it making sense to me? I want to know the market size. I want to know the growth potential. Cassava flour now, in terms of the export market, is really commendable. I have orders now that I cannot even touch. Yeah. Because even the local orders here are still can't meet it. We have a current demand of 200,000 metric tons of cassava flour in Nigeria annually. Forget it, we are not producing 50,000 tons. Do you understand? So it's not about the crop. It's about the figures. You understand? Is it going to make sense? That is what we should be thinking about. Please. It's very, very important. That is what is making us different from the other sides. You understand? We'll go to banks and present business plan to them. Yes, I want to do this project and these are my plans. And they will look at it. Wow, this is making sense. I want to do a sugar plantation. I'm not processing already in this nation. So give me fund. Okay, what are your parameters? These are my parameters. Look through it. And they say, yeah, this is making sense. That's what this thing is all about. You understand, sir? It has to be the enterprise. That is why we are here.
In addition to that, one reason why I'm interested in cassava.
Okay.
Nigeria is regarded as the largest cassava producer in the world.
Yeah.
But you and I know that we are not performing optimally.
We are not.
We are not even going enough for our local demand.
Yeah.
And I read a lot of articles in the paper. For instance, the federal government said they are going to ban the production of cassava flour by March.
Yeah.
Countries like China, companies there are coming to look for cassava in Nigeria. And that's a lot of trouble for
the
us.
The largest demands we have for cassava flour are from China.
Yes. I was in the seminar recently on exports, and we were told not to even try to export cassava because you cannot cope with demand.
Of course.
So I see potential in all of that, and I just think it's something that, and then I'm interested in what IITA is doing now, a lot of research.
Yeah.
There's this species they just introduced, which they are still doing work on, which they say will be commercialized in 2 years, where cassava will have, it's going to contain protein and some other things, and the age, the maturity age is getting shorter and shorter. Now you have varieties of 7 months exactly. So I just see a lot of potentials in it, and it's a tropical crop.
Yeah.
That we should really focus on.
Yeah, I've mentioned glucose. You still have the starch and fructose. We still have the starch there. We still have the chips there. What of the ethanol industry? You understand? That is another major thing. But the problem with ethanol in Nigeria is that cassava flour is the major raw material for the ethanol production. And even our direct consumption for cassava flour is not even enough. We have the 10th anniversary last year. SAPEC is approaching 30. So we are looking at agricultural businesses that will be sustainable. You understand? And I tell you categorically, emphatically as an expert, production is not sustainable. Production is not sustainable. What is sustainable is processing. In fact, that is the cassava, that is the real enterprise.
That's right.
Processing. That is what is sustainable. That is what you can build a business structure around. You really cannot build a business structure around farming, primary farming. You build a business structure around secondary farming. That is processing. A couple of months ago, I was trying to think of why is agriculture made bad in Africa. And I discovered that one, in America, it is very difficult for you to see a poor American farmer. In Britain, it is very difficult for you to see a poor British farmer. But in Africa, I have seen millions and millions and millions of poor African farmers. Why? Ask myself, why? Because what we think basically is primary production. I want to have a cassava farm, that's all. Yeah, you will have a cassava farm and you will sell a cassava farm. But I tell you, you will not make much money from your cassava farm if you are not adding value to it. In America, if anybody is thinking of having a poultry farm, he is thinking of having a poultry processing plant on that farm. So he's not thinking of selling live poultry. No. He's thinking of selling frozen poultry that he would export to other parts of the world. That is the way he's thinking. The same thing with a pig farmer. He won't just say, let me construct this thing, let me raise pig and let me look for where to sell it. No. He will think of having a pork processing line on that farm. I want to share a story with somebody. If a friend of mine has 100 hectares of corn plantation, maize, a large lot with irrigation. That means he can plant 4 times in a year. And you know what he did? He installed a cornflakes manufacturing plant on that farm. So he's not looking for who's going to buy maize from him. No. From his farm, he harvests, keep it in silo, flash dry, make them to the plants. What comes out of the farm is fully packaged cornflakes that they can export to any part of the world. He's making a whole lot in return than a primary crop farmer. A lot of people, when it comes to selling your primary produce, but when you can add value to it, I don't see problems in marketing. That is what I came up with my research. In my office every day, I go, how to sell this, where can I sell it, and all that. And basically, 90% of my inquiries are always from primary farmers. You understand? So basically, I'm trying to stimulate this audience. Yes, sir.
Primary, you are trying to discourage. but we have problem in this country which kills primary.
Okay.
It's so difficult to till the soil, roots, difficult soil. You are not talking about it. You are talking of exporting. You have to produce first.
Yes, you have to produce first. But I tell you, most processing companies in Nigeria are not producing. They are outsourcing their production to farmers.
Or somebody else is suffering. The farmers are suffering. The other people are making
Yes,
money.
yes, sir. We are also trying to sensitize the farmers also on what they can do with their crops. You understand, sir? But let's leave the farmers now. Let's talk about ourselves. In fact, anything you want to do, you don't even need to produce.
That's right.
We currently coordinate the project for PATA in the saying tobacco plantation. But don't have to produce. What they have to do is just to get us to organize the farmers into every input they need, give them every support they need, give them subsidized fertilizer, get them to produce. Even send their children to secondary schools. Scholarship. Yes. Do you understand? Every tobacco we are planting is, you are not selling it to anybody, you are selling it to British American tobacco. So you don't need to farm. You just need to concentrate on the production. At the point when I was consulting for a car, I was making at times 500,000 naira in a week from the sales, from the commercial I was getting from the sales. And I wasn't the cassava, I wasn't planting cassava. I was making much more than the cassava farmers. I was making much more than if I go primarily into cassava farming. Just because I was not even processing. We can produce, we can process, and we can sell. Do you understand? What I just said about not producing is just my own philosophy. It's not the industry philosophy. You can also sell. I think one of the major principles in economics, in production economics, is to control your source of raw materials. If you are producing, the best thing you can do, the best thing that can happen to you is to be in firm control of the source of your raw materials. So if anything is happening outside, you are insulated from everything. If farmers are dying, you are insulated from it because you are not depending on farmers. You can control your price if you are controlling your raw materials. So if you want to have your dairy processing plant, you can also have your cassava plantation. With that, you are controlling the source of your raw materials. Do you understand now? In some other emerging opportunities in agriculture, that is in the area of medicinal plants, and process them and sell them to different parts of the world. If you see what moringa is doing now, moringa is becoming the crop of the century now. And there are people that are growing moringa in large plantation. From 4 years ago, we have been calling with growing our own local variety of moringa. And we did some research at the Yoruba University. We were able to get moringa to grow very well in this part of the world. And University of Balance. So even organize the service. Yes. Okay. So it's becoming the wonder crop now. But somebody like me, if I want to start producing moringa and I want to start packaging my moringa for sale, I want to have my moringa plantation. I want to be sure that whoever is planting my moringa is not using fertilizer. I want to be sure it's not using any inorganic material. I want to be sure I'm organically growing my medicinal plant. Because once it is contaminated, it affects the efficacy of the drug. So in that kind of industry, I can't just think of having the moringa processing whatever. I want to be sure I have a moringa plantation, which I can supervise on my own. When you are growing medicinal plants, you grow them organically.
So does the fertilizer contaminate the moringa? Yes.
Yeah. In a large extent, it's not as if it affects the drug itself, the plants itself, and the phytochemicals, the chemicals inside of the plant. They are the ones that work for the healing property. Yeah. It's not as if it affects them. But what we are promoting with using plants is organic. Plant itself is organic. That's the difference between using plants, herbal drug, and using inorganic drug. It is because you feel safer with organic products. Yeah. So why can't you make the entire process organic if you can afford it? How many of us know Dara Abati? Dara Abati. It's a lemongrass tea. They used to do on Regular. Yeah, they grow the lemongrass, dry it. Then it's like eating.
I did it.
Yeah, you put it inside hot water and the lemongrass stick comes out. I was consulting for them. They have a family in the States. They were growing purely organically. For the kind of drug, you don't need to use anything. It doesn't affect primarily, but it's safer when it is purely organic. Do you understand that? So let's go back to our cassava. I'm saying we can actually combine our cassava plantation with our garri processing, with whatever processing we want to do, and still make a very good business. The benefit of that is that we are in firm control of our raw materials. Are you getting that, sir? So now let me go into the production now. We'll also come back to the processing. It's been a whole lot of things. I've prepared the feasibility studies for us in our DVDs. Figures, actually. These are things that make my eyes to open. I want to see the figures. I've done a lot of analysis for us for cassava plantation, cassava flour plantation, for cassava chips plantation, for industrial growth plantation, small scale production. I've done a comprehensive feasibility studies for us there in the DVDs. So when we get to, we can actually look through the figures very well and be sure that yes, this is worth investing in.
The steps of the processing are there.
The steps of the processing are there. Yeah. The flow charts are there. Washing, to the peeling, to the sieving, none about that. They are already in the flow chart. So let's go into production. How many of us have done cassava plantation? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So of course, that was less than 10%. What is the first thing we start with?
Before you go for that, I want to ask in the DVD.
Okay.
Do you give us all the things we can use cassava for?
All the things you can use cassava for are in the DVD. Okay. Animal feed, anything, they are in the DVD. Do you understand? I would just advise us to concentrate on maybe one or two for a start. Let me transform this knowledge into an enterprise. We'll start planting from March now. I want to be sure all of us are on the same page. All of us are getting. So I've tried to ensure that these things are broken down into very micro and small scale investments that can be easy for us to flow along. I don't want us to just get the knowledge and just go and sleep at all. Do you understand? So even though we have so many processing in the manual, you can just pick one or two on the immediate to start with. Later you can begin to diversify your production into so many other these things. And in reality, I'm not seeing anybody doing about 2 cassava processing plants in Nigeria. As big as Cassava farm is, they are not doing cassava flour and glucose. Because each of these things are major investments on their own.
Yes.
To do cassava starch in its own is a major investment. Those are multi-million naira investments. So you can't just have to do 3 or 4. You can just have the knowledge. I have the resources here. But let me just pick one that I know I want to go fully into, apart from my cassava plantation. In production is what, sir?
Clear the land.
Before you clear the land, you must get the land.
Get the land.
Yes. Yes.
But I'm talking as you.
Yeah, I know, I understand. So the first thing we do is to get the land. To those of us in Lagos, it's a problem. Honestly. For those of us in Lagos, it's a problem. I once tried it. I'm very close to the Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture because I'm a journalist. They want to ensure that I'm comfortable with them. And I try to make awareness for plantation in Lagos. Epe, Ikorodu, Itoikin. Most of these farmlands are coordinated by the Lagos State Ministry of Agriculture. And it was air. As in air. Before we could get 10 hectares in Itoikin. It was air. I'm more familiar with Oyo State because I stay in Ibadan. And most of my farms are in Oyo State. We still have our way around. It's more easier for us in Oyo or Shungoku to get farmlands under the government scheme. The benefit of having farmlands under the government scheme is that one is cheap. It could be like 1,000 naira per year. And in most cases, they come with irrigation facilities, which government has already constructed on their own. They've laid the pipes, they've done the pumping, they've done everything. You only just as a tenant, you just move in with your clothes, bam, and start your farm. Do you understand? And the beauty of it is that you will do 4 times planting in a year. If you are planting 3 months crops, like watermelon, like maize, and all that.
How long is cassava?
Cassava is about 9 months. We have new varieties actually, but I'm still more comfortable with 9 months. One, the starch formation is also very important. Two, the water content is very, very important. The water content must be low. Most of the new varieties we are having now, we are still having problem with the water content. Yeah, they are coming out in about 6-7 months, but the water content is high, and that means the dry mass content is low.
Yeah, that's right.
So even if I have 10 tons of cassava that I've harvested, when the volume of water is high, by the time I do the processing, what I will get will not be compared to the person that did 9 months and he has very low water content. The genes in our plant and ensure that they come out shorter and bigger and all that. We see a problem with some of the after effects of these crops. So basically, the first thing we need to do is to get the land. Do you understand? Of course, anybody here should not mind going outside Lagos State to acquire lands. Anybody that is serious about this business should not bother about going outside Lagos State. I travel these routes, Lagos Ibadan Expressway, almost like 4 times in a week. My office is in Lagos, my farms are in Oyo State, and I live in Ibadan. And my office is in Lagos, my staffs are here, my farm are in Oyo. I apply this route more than 4 or 5 times in a week at times. Because it's about money, isn't it? It's business, that's what I do, that's what make retail in Oyo State. We have farmlands in Igbora, I'm one of us in Igbora.
That's also your
That's where you're from. You're also from Oyo State.
I mean, Igbora is also in your state.
Yes,
That's what.
settlement scheme there. We call it Naboba Farm Settlement Scheme. You understand? The reason why we made it in form of a scheme is for us to be able to control the processes. It's like an estate. We want to make it like a farm estate, in which somebody will come and take 5 hectares, they will allocate 5 hectares for him. Somebody will come and take 10 hectares, they will allocate 10 hectares for him. Somebody will come and take 20 hectares, they will allocate 20 hectares for him. We call our 5 hectare small holding. We call our 10 hectares medium holding, and 20 hectares and above is, of course, extensive holding.
How many plots are in 1 hectare?
How many plots are in 1 hectare? Eh?
No, hectare
No,
is 6.
yeah, no.
Acre is 2.5. 2.5 acres is 1 hectare. And then
Don't mix it up. 2.5 plots and make 1 acre. 6 plots makes what?
1 acre. 6 plots make 1 acre.
6
acre.
plots make 1 hectare.
Then I think about 6
1
acre.
hectare.
1 acre is
2.5.
10 acres.
1 hectare is 10 acres. No.
It's
1
2.5.
hectare.
1 hectare is
2.5 acres. That's
How many plots make 1
plot.
acre?
15 plots.
1 acre.
15 plots doesn't make 1 acre.
is 6 plots.
Don't confuse it because we have different measurements. The problem is that the normal urban way of measuring
by 120.
land is by 120 is different from what we use in farmland.
Okay. But I think the standard, sorry.
Tell us the farmland.
It's only for some fear of if you want to build a house that you can talk of
Plots.
blocks.
No, we're talking about plots now.
Forgetting about the technology. You either use acre or hectares.
I think the acres we are just trying to narrow it down to understand.
So that we can understand.
A plot of a land, you can get 6 of it inside an acre.
Yes.
That's what we are just trying to, so that you can visualize how big.
Myself,
Some of us that have not gone to.
Okay, you don't know a plot. 60 by 120 is a plot.
It's only if I want to buy
But
700.
let me just give you what we use on the farm. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, I've come to this argument a lot of time. And this is an estate person.
Exactly.
If you want to buy, I know in Lagos now, the plot of land in Lagos is not the same size as my own plot of land in Ibadan. Yeah, my own is bigger. It's yours should be bigger than mine in Ibadan. The one in Lagos will be small. That's the difference. Relatively, we use 2.5 acres as 1 acre. And we use 6 plots
At 1 acre.
at 1 acre.
I think the plot is 60 by 120.
60 by 120, yes. We have our tape anyway. We have our tape. But that is the standard. It's bigger because it's farmland. In fact, even the measurement of the hectare is just meant for coordination. What are you measuring? Most of you are not buying the land, it's just for lease.
Okay, I think that will bring me to a question. That land you are talking about, that you say you want to come and it's already out, or is
basically the ones that have not been planted before are still thick forest. But it takes less than 2 days to get them cleared.
disadvantage of putting big trees on the land?
Of course. One of the benefits of having a plant is the
Because
settlement.
by the time you finish uprooting the trees, before you can get tractor to harrow there because of those roots and all the rest around. So
It depends on if you want to
uproot their homes.
It depends on if you want to uproot the trees. It depends on what you want to plant. You don't have to spread. And it also depends on crops that I want to mix crop with my produce. I want to plant cassava, I want to mix it with maize. I want to plant cassava, I want to mix it with watermelon. Do you understand that? I have to be sure of my agronomy. I have to plan my farm. That is also one of the things we do as modern farmers.
Yeah.
We plan. We look at the agronomic structure of each plant we want to plant. I want to do cassava. What is the characteristics of my cassava stem? And I want to mix it with maize or with soya bean. I want to be sure that on an hectare, I am getting the maximum value for that land. I don't believe in wasting my lands. I want to be sure what I'm planting is going to give me the highest economic yield on that hectare. Traditionally, people plant cassava and maize.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Cassava and melon.
Cassava, those are the things we grew up into. I grew up into planting cassava and maize also. But later I discovered that if I'm going to look at the economics per hectare, what are the crops I can conveniently plant with my cassava that will give me the highest yield? And as a businessman, I think of planting industrial crops. To me, I don't believe in planting arable crops. I don't believe in planting crops that I will now carry to my 12 and start looking for who to buy it in trailer. I want to plant crops that I will get LPO for to supply to industries. Those are what I want to get into. That is how I think. So basically, when I look at my cassava, I look at soya bean. Do you understand? I look at what? I look at soya bean. It's an industrial crop. In fact, currently on my table, I have an LPO for 120 tons of soya bean. If anybody here can supply that, very beautiful. I'm going to give you an LPO in your company's name.
I will love it.
Sir? Okay, sir, you love it. Yes, sir. As in, talking about next week supply. It has been on my table since 2 weeks, and I'm not able to get people to supply it.
Because we don't have buyers for it.
And you produce. We can do business.
So we put it aside.
Those are the things I love to hear. I love to hear, Mr. Yo, I produce this, I can't find market for it. Those are the things I want to hear. I don't want to hear.
For those of us that have not started, we want to get
No.
For those of you that are inside, it's like when I first entered school, and there were those who had attended advanced courses. Yeah. And when the teacher is taking us on the introduction, they put in their advanced knowledge and they make the teacher to go up there, take it from our primary.
Yes, but one of the benefits also is that we will also learn
to all of us.
One thing with seminar forum like this is that apart from the facilitator, everybody is also coming with his own wealth of knowledge from different branches or areas of life. So in an interactive forum, we will also leverage on what other people know. Do you understand? So even though you are not there yet, but you can also tap into what they know, what they've done, so that when you get to that point, you already have a backlog of knowledge. People say one of the reasons why you should read autobiographies is to learn from the lives of others. So that the mistake they made, you will not make it. At times you see a 30-year-old, a 35-year-old having the experience of a 60-year-old. Not because he's 60-year-old, but because he has added the experience of 60-year-olds to his own experience. Relatively 60-year-old. Life is about what you can do. Age is just a number, it's a figure of numbers. The most important thing is what you can do. Do you understand? So if a 40-year-old man cannot do what a 40-year-old person should do, he's not 40-year-old. And if a 20-year-old man can do what a 40-year-old can do, then it's a 40-year-old. Do you understand that? So if a new farmer can do what a 10-year-old farmer can do now, wow, he's 10-year-old in the business. That's what I believe.
So what you are trying to prove to us now is that it is
better.
No, yes, yes, you are there.
Okay.
We are not
I'm
there.
actually a farming. I'm a farming.
That means it is better
I'm
to.
facts.
It is better to plant cassava with soya beans.
Yes, not only soya beans. it is better to plant cassava with industrial crops. It is better to plant cassava. Cassava is now an industrial crop. 10, 15 years ago, cassava was not an industrial crop. Cassava was just a food crop. Do you understand? The only market we have there is the market women. And those are the worst markets you can ever have. I'm telling you. If I have my poultry farm now, I don't want to, after spending so much money and so much wahala on getting my bring market women and say, 600, I'm going to buy 600. How much are you going to? I sell it. I can't buy. Those things make me sick. Zapek is not having problem with selling their fowls. Zapek produce hundreds of thousands of broilers per month. They don't take their chicken to the street and start looking for who to buy it. They process it, package it, supply it to pack and shop, supply it to whatever, what's this guy there? Two Sensation. Supply to major this thing. That's how it should be. You understand now? So we really should think of eliminating the market. Whatever you are doing in agriculture, please eliminate the local market out of it. Please. It's very, very important. Otherwise, you will still be the same thing. You will do the same thing as my father's farmers in the village are doing. You understand? You must look for something that will boycott those local market women. They mustn't be your market. They could frustrate you. If you are doing your plantain, don't think of my 12. That's it. I used to. No, it's experience.
So in the case of cassava, for instance,
yeah,
if you are processing garri,
yeah,
where do you take garri?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'm going to give you something that we've done before from the traditional way of doing things. When I got into farming before, my trailer was our major market. You won't see me like this. I will follow trailer from the farm to Lagos because we want to sell plantain. And you see there, those babas, they will come. They will rubbish whatever you do. They will rubbish whatever you do and start telling you, as far as this market is concerned, now we. They will tell you my trade is the largest food stock market in West Africa. You can verify it. And I'm the chairman of the Plantain Sellers Association of my 12. So what do you know? How old are you? What do you know? This is what we are buying. This is what we have been buying. And you look at your figures. How much is that taking you to get to that level of production? They will mess that figure up. You can't carry your trailer back to your farm. Already you paid through your nose to get those trailers. You will be forced to sell. That is it. Anyhow, let me just go. If you like even dumping it there, yeah. Let me just give you, get into a finish man. Cut your losses and go. That's what will come to your mind. And that's why farmers are always poor back then. Because when you have gone through the stress of producing, the stress of marketing weighs you down. It kills your morale. But because that is the only thing they are doing.
That's exactly what they're going to do.
That's what they need to back out. Yeah.
Sorry, and I think that's the major difference between Nigerian farmers and farmers abroad.
Honestly.
Because the government is involved.
Market is organized. Market is organized. That is just it. There are marketing boards for agricultural produce. Anything. Yam, common yam.
You can sell it online.
Honestly.
You can sell it online.
Common yam tubers, there are marketing boards for it. Common yam tuber that dictate the price. Industrial markets for myself. At the point, cassava stage is just one of the, it's like chips, let me call it chips. One of the major things we produce in the factory. Now, a friend of mine with DATCO, Dot Agricultural Development Company of Nigeria, they had an agreement with Sam Millers in Mozambique. Sam Miller is one of the major brain. I said it. I give you an instance of Guinness with cassava chips and Sam Miller in Mozambique. What Sam Miller is doing with cassava chips is what we went to Guinness to go and demonstrate to them what they can do with cassava chips. They did not know anything they could do with cassava chip in the brewing process. Okay. We were the one that went to them with a PowerPoint projection and told them these are what you could do with cassava tree. It's going to make this process cheaper and cost effective. And they got the message because we did the research that Savila in Mozambique is already doing that successfully. From there, we go to Nigerian breweries. From there, we go to Zonal breweries. Before we need to have created the local market for cassava trees.
Wow.
You understand? That's the bottom line. We have to create alternative industrial markets for whatever we are producing. Let this be ringing in our ear. Ensure that you are bypassing the local markets in your agricultural produce. Please. It is very, very important. My brother, don't carry your plantain to my 12.
Thank you, sir.
Those guys will mess it up. They will mess up your investments. Yeah. I'm not the same way, sir. Is are we getting something?
Yes,
Yeah. Then the production. Back to the production. The land issue. Yeah, I said we can actually get farmlands in Oyo State. We get in Iguara. We get in Aguare. Who knows Aguare?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm that area.
Okay, yeah, I know. I know. I know, yes.
How about Kurubi?
Basically, we don't operate much from Lagos because the process in Lagos is a bullion. Getting farmland in Lagos is a bullion. We discourage. Yeah, Ogunde is better. Ogunde is better. But we are familiar with Oyo State. And more importantly,